So check it. They are selling debt rampantly. Oh my God. So a debt has been sold that quick. It took them 90 days. And now, what do we have? A new company that is trying to collect on debt that was already sold. Well, we should let everybody be aware that HAISTED Financial Services LLC is acting as a third party debt collector, sending out debt that they have bought on pennies for the dollar of your debt, and your debt is maybe coming back from one of these companies. Okay, it's called HAISTED, Hasted Financial Services, comma LLC. So, if anybody receives that any mail from that third party debt collector, well, you know what you got to do with it, because you never contracted with that company. You know, every 30, 60, 90, 120, or 180 days, that debt is sold, gone. It's off the auction block, and it's in another shell company. So, if it's in another shell company, what are the people going to do? You're going to have to send back a no contract, no consent, you know, show me the wet ink signature. And if they don't have a wet ink signature of their name on the original contract, it ain't happening. So, you know, and sometimes a reference number is how you can get paid in the suit against the company. So the reference number is everything. Um, and then they're gonna tell you, how can you dispute a debt? They're telling you to call or write to us by a certain date to dispute all or part of the debt. If you do not, we will assume that our information is correct. That is why you have to rebut it and say, no consent, I do not contract, and show me the wet ink signature. Straight up. And if they can't send that back to you, then you know what to do. So basically, when they send it back to you, you have to send it now, send it back to that third party debt collector. No consent. Number two, no contract. Number three, show me the wet ink signature. So basically, those are the three rebuts that you should send back to a third party debt collector that has bought your debt. And if they can't answer, if they can't show you a contract with a wet ink signature, then it's bullshit. So, or some people do it another way. They may just send in a voucher and pay. Some people may, do a whole nother solution to that. But I say a rebut, no consent, no contract, show me the wet ink signature. And if they can't answer those questions, then hands down, you've won the case already. And especially if you put it on a UCC and you put it through your court, then you've already won the case because that third party debt collector is some bullshit. It could be your next door neighbor that created an LLC as a debt collector, and basically they send debt collection letters out on the whole fucking block. Okay? The motherfucker that is trying to be the friendliest on your block is the motherfucker setting your ass up straight up. So, the bottom line is fuck a 50% off your balance. If a debt collector sends you a letter like that, they're going to give you 50% off. That's some bullshit. Why is it 50% off now of whatever your original debt is? And now it's 50% off. So now it's half the debt. Okay? He's just trying to recoup something that he bought your debt for like $25. And it was in a pool of other debt that you may have bought for $500 or $1,000. So the bottom line is he's trying to recoup maybe 200, 300 off of whatever debt. If it's low, if it's high, most of them auction off. They like to get the highest high debt because you get a higher interest on it and dividend, all of that. So, my people out there who are in the battle with third party debt collectors who send you a privacy notice, now you can rebut that privacy notice. Yes, I am in the private, motherfucker. Yes, I'm in the private. So, that's a rebut for the privacy notice because you can show proof that you're in the private. And it says this privacy notice is being provided on behalf of each of the following related companies collectively. The um, the resurgent companies, the resurgent companies. You gotta look that up. Is describes the general policy of the resurgent companies regarding the personal information of customers and former consumer customers. So, when you go, no contract, no consent, show me the wet ink signature, and all rights reserved, and they already know that means you're private. So, they right there they've crossed the boundary lines by sending you a notice, you know, because they need some type of rebut from what we read earlier that if you acquiesce, then that means that will stand as their law on their books. There will always be a debt if it and they will hold it up to 180 days. And if it's once it's sold and then you choose to pay it, you're out of your money. So I don't know what to tell people, but you're gonna have the LLC. That's the third party debt collector, and then you're gonna have they give you another address to send the payment to, or at the top there's gonna be the third party debt collector, and they have in here that's attached to. Nothing is on the back. It looks like a coupon. You know, they put this shit together. This is, what is this on? 11 by 14. Yep, legal. So they got to make it look the part, yada. Um, it's not coming from the printers that they put their little you know UPC barcode on it. So basically, whoever sends you shit like this as a third party debt collector is truly trying to make you really think that you owe them something when you know not of them from day one? So how could you owe them anything? And where did you get my information? Because I'm private. So you have violated my privacy rights. And that's what they're going to say. That's what you can say in that rebut. So, my people, private bankers class 407 300 5377. We do all of that and more. Private bankers class, United States, private enterprise free state. That's how we drop it. If you want to get up in this class, then you know what you have to do. 407 300 5377. And basically, that was the third party debt collector piece right there. Because third party debt collectors are really people that need to stop, because we already know what time it is. And once the debt has already been, acquired and then canceled, and then, said you can OID it or whatever you're going to do with it. But basically, you have got to let them know that no, you do not consent. You know what I'm saying? You do not comply. You do not contract. And you damn sure want the wet ink signature to the original contract that you signed. And privacy rights have been violated. All my rights are reserved. So, that's how that shit goes down. That's how you can just rebut. Normally, Negroes will leave you alone after that. And if they don't, then I don't know what to say. Them niggas are the same people. Like today, walking down the street, I seen another cowboy in a different area of New York. The cowboy hat was like one of the cowboy hats out of the movie. He looked totally out of place. And then the lady that was walking behind him, I don't know, that shit looked wild. Because when you start to see those cowboy hats, you know that you either piercing through another dimension of where you're at, or these niggas are rising back up and it's about to go back into wild, wild western times in New York. New York. So my people, um, I know that I am a New Yorker native, got all the fucking rights and the percentages of the companies here, but you at this point, one more year after that, you have to be out, because New York is a place. When the towers went down, they let out all the demons. So if they let out the demons, that means that from the when the towers dropped to up to now, and I don't even remember when the towers dropped, and don't give a goddamn or care, but based upon their calendar and the way they do shit, this shit will be the wild wild west in another year. Because I done seen two cowboys walking down the street, okay, in Long Island, straight up. And you will see way more walking down the street in Manhattan. Okay, it looks like in Manhattan that if you keep looking up, some of these pyramids are ready to disengage. from whatever towers and buildings they sit on, the pyramids that do fly. So, you know, um, in the private bankers class, we get deep into like 8, sometimes 9 sections of private bankers only. So if you can go through that, 407-300-5377, then you will probably be able to get through the biggest gate of hell on the planet, and that is the middleman that sits between you and the treasury. That is the demonic hole that you have to go through because they are holding on to every bit of what anybody has on the planet right now. Disengage from certain things because at this point, if anybody knows how cowboys move, they shoot to kill, nothing stands, nobody's left, and if it is left, they were hiding and they saw everything. So basically, my people, I am trying to tell you this is not to bake fear, fear, fear. This is to say that if that group gets through with their demonstration and that group knows who, let's just say light, they know the group. If that demonstration is successful, I know that these cowboys are going to rise up and shit is going to go down. Because in the Wild West, shit don't go down like that. So, this is Atlantis somewhere lost in space in New York. Bottom line, um, my people, you must wake up and you must wake the fuck up now. So, with that being said, I'm about to hop off of here because if you are not private banking, then I don't know what you are doing.